ever wondered what really separates the truly wealthy from, well, everyone else? When you look at hundreds of them, a pattern starts to show up. And you know what? It's not just about what they do, it's about how they think. So today, we're going to dive into two super powerful mental models that are really the foundation of real, lasting wealth. Let's get into it. So what is it? Is it just dumb luck, being in the right place at the right time? Well, the folks who've studied this say absolutely not. It actually points to something much more fundamental, something that any of us can start to cultivate. And here's the core idea. Wealthy people aren't just getting lucky breaks. They're actively, day in and day out, cultivating these small but incredibly powerful mindset changes. These little shifts in thinking, they're the real engine that creates their wealth. So we're going to break down two of the absolute biggest mental shifts you can make. First up, we're going to look at something called the inner scorecard, which is a huge concept from Warren Buffett. Then we'll get into first principle thinking, which is a killer problem-solving method used by innovators like Elon Musk. All right, let's start with the foundation. This first idea, it comes from none other than the legend himself, Warren Buffett, and it's all about how you measure your own success. He has a great name for it, the inner scorecard. Okay, so what in the world is it? Well, the inner scorecard is all about judging yourself based on your own standards, your own values. It's about learning to tune out all that noise from society, from your friends, from social media, all the stuff that's constantly telling you what success is supposed to look like. This chart here just breaks it down perfectly. You've got the outer scorecard. That's all about what other people think. It's the fancy car, the huge house, getting that external validation. It's basically playing someone else's game. But the inner scorecard, that's all about internal validation. It asks the important questions. Does this actually line up with my values? Is this my personal definition of a happy, successful life? And look, this isn't just some vague, feel-good idea. It has a very real, very practical outcome. Because when you stop chasing society's definition of success, you just naturally stop spending money on things that don't actually matter to you. And that, right there, leads directly to the cornerstone of all wealth creation. You spend less than you earn. Buffett himself just sums it up so perfectly. When you operate from an internal scorecard, you're the only one who gets to define what winning looks like. Plain and simple. You take back all the control. All right, on to our second big idea. Now, if the inner scorecard is about figuring out your destination, first principle thinking is all about finding the smartest, most efficient way to actually get there. It is a truly revolutionary way to solve problems. So what is it? First principle thinking basically means you refuse to just accept things as they are. You don't just copy what everybody else has done before you. Instead, you break a problem all the way down to its most basic, undeniable truths, its first principles, and then you build your solution up from there. And there is no better example of this in action than Elon Musk. I mean, he used this exact method to completely flip the space industry on its head by tackling the absolutely insane cost of rockets. Here's exactly how he did it. The common assumption for decades was rockets are just fundamentally expensive, period. But Musk rejected that. He asked a simple question. What are rockets actually made of? He broke it down to the raw materials, aluminum, carbon fiber, the basic stuff. And he found out that the cost of all those components was just a tiny fraction of a finished rocket's price tag. So by rebuilding from those first principles, he found a way to build them for dramatically less. It was a game changer. So how does this apply to you? I know you're probably not building rockets in your garage, but you can use this exact same approach to question all of your own assumptions about money or investing or even your career. You can ask yourself things like, is a 30-year mortgage really the only way to own a home? Or is a traditional 9-to-5 job the only way to build real wealth? You can break down literally any problem to its first principles. So let's put these two incredibly powerful ideas together, because this isn't just a random collection of tips. This is a complete framework for totally rethinking your financial life. So here's how they fit together so beautifully. Your inner scorecard is your why. It defines what success really means to you and only you. Then, first principle thinking becomes your how. It's the toolkit you use to find the smartest, most direct path to achieve that personal definition of success. So the crucial takeaway here is this. First, you've got to use your inner scorecard to define what you truly want out of life. Then, use first principle thinking to build your own custom path to get there from the ground up. So, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. What is one long-held belief you have about money, one assumption that you are now ready to completely challenge? What are you going to break down to its first principles?